Now I'd like to welcome the rest of the country and our viewers south of the border on ESPN. It's the CFL's Hatfields and McCoys doing battle at the 11th annual Banjo Bowl. This is the third possession of the game. Blue Bombers with a first down at the Roughrider 25-yard line, trailing 1-0. Fake to Grigsby, and Willie wide side. He's got Denmark loose. Clarence Denmark inside the 15, another first down.
Clarence Denmark ranked second in the Canadian Football League in receiving, behind the Darius Bowman of the Edmonton Eskimos. So we'll be watching him this afternoon. One other receiver that's in the lineup, healthy scratch last week, was Robbie Bryant. He's in for Nick Moore, who's injured, maybe out a couple of weeks. And there is your leading rusher in the Canadian Football League, Nick Grigsby, out of Arizona.
Our starters to watch brought to you by Napa Auto Parts, where custom advice comes standard. Good-looking drive for the Bombers. 13 for Denmark, first down. 4 receivers to the wide side, but they go to the near side. Grigsby, touchdown! A 12-yard gallop. And a league-leading 9th touchdown of the year for Nick Grigsby.
Boy, he gets some nice blocks up front. Goes against the flow, lines up to the right of Willie. Cuts backside. Good blocking downfield, holding Chad Kilger, the middle linebacker, off, and Grigsby walks in.
Seven-play drive, 90 yards for the Bombers. Iralahu, who pinned the Roughriders with a punt into the corner, adds the extra point. And Winnipeg has the lead here in the opening quarter. It's 7-1.
Nick Grigsby's touchdown, All-Pro Glenn January gets a nice block there. He's going to seal and then get to the next level and take Chad Kilger, the middle linebacker. Watch how he comes down, seals the edge first of all for Grigsby. There he goes now, steps out to the second level. He'll take Chad Kilger, the middle linebacker. Let's go just in time to not draw the holding call. Grigsby walks in the end zone. And they sit next to each other right on the bench. The leading rusher, Nick Grigsby, and the guy who opened the gate for him in Glenn January.
And the Roughrider kicked off from Iralahu, and on a hop over Will Ford. That's going to go out. So no return. Saskatchewan will be on offense when we come back to sold out Investors Group Field. 6th consecutive Banjo Bowl start for Darian Durant.
Out of University of North Carolina, it's the run game that's been so strong this year. It's a three-headed beast with Anthony Allen. This Saskatchewan team leads the CFL in rushing. They average 145 per game. Will Ford is the speed guy. 3 running backs combined for over 1,000 yards. If it was one tailback, Jerome Messam, the power back, he would be on pace for a 2,000-yard rushing season.
Touchdowns in their final 2 possessions a week ago at Mosaic. A little shovel inside. And Messam handled by Desjardins, limited to a short gain.
So the challenge then goes to these 3 guys can stop them for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. That's the linebacking core for Winnipeg. The starters, E.J. Kowali in the middle. They rank 8th against the run. They average 118 allowed. That's Teague Sherman at strong side. And then Desjardins, as you mentioned, 3 linebackers, 75 tackles. They got to stop the run today.
2nd and 7. Durant, quick hitter, far side. Taj Smith taken down. Looks like he's short of the first down. Smith with a big 59-yard touchdown on Labor Day, helping key the comeback.
I agree. They needed to get just past the 35-yard line. They're just in front of it. They're going to take a measure here.
And wouldn't this be an interesting test of the confidence of your power running game? If you joined us late, Roughriders started their first possession on their own 1-yard line. Had the ball for 6:49.
Hey, we're 3rd down.
And then Chris Milo missed a 35-yard field goal. It's 3rd and inches, and I thought they were a little more than that away, so probably not a tough decision for Corey Chamberlain.
No, I think Corey Chamberlain is going to go ahead and get it. Darian Durant will come out. He'll put the Elephant team in there. Going to get loud in here.
Darian Durant is adept at handling the crowd noise here. Might be a little different for Tino Sunseri. And off the left side, he'll follow Brendan Labatt. Ball came loose, though. Do the Bombers have it? Looks like they do. It is Winnipeg football. Deja Dunn comes up with it. All turnovers will be reviewed.
The initial surge from the defensive line for the Bombers is what creates the fumble. Tino Sunseri has to keep fighting for this first down. And as he keeps fighting, the ball is ripped out of there, pops up in the air, and when it does, Deja Dunn jumps on it.
Looked like the former Rider, Abe Troma, was the man who ripped that football out. And up with it was Deja Dunn.
Abraham Proma, former Saskatchewan Roughrider out of Duke, playing middle linebacker in this short yardage. He's going to come up over the top. Number 51, look at him dive over the pile, rip Tino Sunseri backwards, and then pull the ball out of there. Deja Dunn, his teammate, comes up with it. What a play by Proma.
What a confidence builder for the defense of the Bombers.
Just selling out on short yardage. Nothing is guaranteed. Not even a few inches.
Roughriders second best at protecting the football this year. Just their 13th turnover. And so the Bombers have the lead and take over at the Roughrider 38-yard line. The two quarterbacks combined 11 for 12 in this opening quarter. Drew Willie's had a hot hand and goes back to work. Looking deep, wants Aaron Kelly, and it's off the crossbar. And Willie might not be able to do that again if he tried.
A defender that Drew Willie didn't count on. Layered routes, and he has Aaron Kelly on the post trying to pull Tyron Brackenridge out of the middle. He's successful at that. And the defender that he didn't count in the coverage was the crossbar.
Tristan Jackson in coverage. So the Bombers continue to try the deep threat. Willie down the sidelines and incomplete. Clarence Denmark looked like he had a step. And that's the end of the first quarter. Bombers get a touchdown from Nick Grigsby. Chris Milo missed a field goal. And the home team has the lead after 15 minutes of football in the 11th annual Banjo Bowl. Both teams putting up pretty good numbers in the opening 15 minutes.
Well, the Riders started with an 81-yard drive, ended in a single and a missed field goal. Winnipeg Blue Bombers, a 90-yard drive. We've seen some great offense. We've seen the Bombers push the ball deep. That running game we talked about with Saskatchewan, the difference in the scoreboard, a fumble by the Riders and the single on the missed field goal.
It was such a good-looking Saskatchewan drive, and to come away with one as Milo misses one he should have had to be a little deflating, as was the Sunseri fumble.
Well, but good football so far in this one with both these teams. You've got two teams battling in the division. Winnipeg Blue Bombers trying to avoid the sweep against Saskatchewan. They have the series after the win on Sunday.
So we start the second quarter. Liram Hairolahu attempting a 45-yard field goal, and it is blocked, and it will be picked up, and this will be a Saskatchewan score. Touchdown, Rod Williams. 62 yards the other way.
They're playing together in the secondary, Weldon Brown and Rod Williams, and Weldon Brown right here is going to come off the edge. He's going to cut underneath and get his hands on the block. His teammate, the guy playing beside him this afternoon at that wide side corner, Rod Williams, is gone.
And the Bombers and the Roughriders both using new long snappers in this game. For Winnipeg, Carl Fitzgerald, and you wonder if the timing's just not the same.
Yeah, I'm not sure, Chris, but the penetration, that quick rush from Weldon Brown looked like very difficult to get this off. Even if perfect snap looks good, hold is down and there. No, the timing good on the field goal and the exchange from center to holder. It was just that speed rush from Weldon Brown back in the lineup after missing 3 games to injury. And out of Louisville, Weldon Brown comes up with a big play in the first game. He returns back.
Roughriders have been victims of special team return touchdowns in 3 consecutive games, but they get a big one here the other way.
We're talking about Rod Williams. Rod Williams, not talking about much as a defensive back because he's playing so well. Usually just talk about DBs when they're having issues or getting beat. Rod Williams been solid on that wide corner, and he makes a big play.
What's up, Mama? I love y'all. I know y'all watching.
So that changes things in a hurry. Looked like the Bombers had a chance at a 10-1 lead. Now they're behind as Studermeyer brings it back across the 30, and we check in with Sarah Orleski.
Well, thank you, Chris. We know that noise can be an issue here at Investors Group Field, and so the Riders have tried to take some different tactics in order to deal with it, namely customized earplugs. That's right, Darian Durant and his offensive line all have molded earplugs that they are wearing for this game. They are supposed to reduce the noise by approximately 30 decibels so that they can hear, in Darian Durant's case, his speakers and his headset better. They have practiced with them throughout the week. This is the first game, though, that they have ever used them in. We will see if it helps them today.
15-yard penalty, first down.
And Al Bradbury calling an unnecessary roughness penalty against the Bombers on that return.
You know, Darian Durant, the last time they played here early in the season, went with silent count, where he would lift his leg, and then on a 2 count, Dominic Picard, his center, would snap him the football. They've changed the system. It was so loud.
Drew Willie back to work, hands it off. Grigsby up to the 19-yard line. 3 yards for the leading rusher in the Canadian Football League.
Drew Willie knows what it's like. He found out about that crowd noise and dealing with it on Sunday, the Labor Day weekend. So he had to go into Mosaic Stadium, where the noise level here in Winnipeg with this new stadium, the way it's configured, which reminds a lot of people of the Seattle Seahawks building. It just funnels the sound right down on the field, almost impossible to communicate.
2nd and 7 for Willie. 4-man rush. Gets it in the hands of Robbie Bryant. Close to a first down. Looks like that second effort got him the first down. The tackle by Tyron Brackenridge.
Bombers have come a long way from the last couple of years where they've really struggled. And one of the indications of that is the depth they have now in the lineup in just one offseason. When you can have Robbie Bryant step in for one of your leading receivers in Nick Moore. Robbie Bryant is a veteran of a couple 1,000-yard seasons in the CFL.
Moore 6 catches, 90 yards last week, and hurt late in that game, an ankle injury that will keep him out a couple of weeks. Here's Willie stepping up, crosser, Bryant with speed. Rod Williams can't catch him. And Robbie Bryant finally dropped at the Roughrider 35-yard line.
The fact that Drew Willie is able to step up in the pocket here is the reason that this play is successful. Robbie Bryant's got to clear through the linebacking core to get there. If Drew Willie has to throw it now, Bryant gets hit by middle linebacker Chad Kilger. Because he can step up by an extra second, it allowed Robbie Bryant to get through the linebacking core and on the other side, and then he had the edge and was gone.
8-year vet, 47 yards for Bryant. Drew Willie's had a couple of big plays here in this opening half. A little fake and then the quick hitter. Catch is made. And here's the story, but the Bombers were making big plays when they went off to the 5-1 start. A big play constituted by a rush of over 20 yards, a reception of over 30. In this game, they've had a 37-yarder to Rory Collert and a 47-yarder now to Robbie Bryant.
He's pushing it deep. Told us yesterday, missed 3 on Sunday in Saskatchewan.
2nd and 3. And that ball
threw it away.
Thrown away. Robbie Bryant was in the neighborhood, and the field goal unit will have to come on.
He felt the pressure, and Drew Willie made this decision in a split second. He didn't have what he liked. Pressure was coming. And I've noticed that this afternoon. Drew Willie is making the decision immediately, getting the football out of his hands. Didn't like what he saw in coverage. He just threw it away. Look to play another down.
Let's check the flag. A couple of catches by Robbie Bryant, one by Corey Watson on this drive. Would be 3rd down. But Al Bradbury's crew has something.
After the play was over, unnecessary roughness, Winnipeg, number 87. That'll be 15-yard penalty at the end of the play. 3rd down.
That's a disastrous penalty for Rory Collert. Will take them out of, well, if it doesn't take them out of field goal range, it certainly puts a decision on Michael O'Shea.
No, I think it'll push him out of field goal range.
That's 3 unnecessary roughness penalties already in this game for the Bombers, who had 13 coming in.
With a 65-yard wide field, coaches are reluctant to take these long field goal attempts with the great returners we have in the CFL, waiting in case you miss.
Instead of 51 yards, Ira Law, who will look for the corner. He nailed it perfectly the last time. This one will slide into the end zone, and Dressler will give up the single point. So that ties the game. Weston Dressler back, and we've seen him be effective already today. 3 catches so far in his 2nd game back in the
Crystal Farthing of Brandon. You can win the ultimate $25,000 home theater package from Visions Electronics if a kickoff's returned for a touchdown in this game today, thanks to Safeway's Touchdown to Win promotion. And if it happens again in this game, you could also win a cool $1 million. Back to Chris and Glenn in Winnipeg.
Cellar crowded Investors Group Field, and the atmosphere you'd expect.
And they're live and loud when Saskatchewan has the football.
Off the right side, Will Ford trying to get that ground game going once again for Saskatchewan.
Mentioned Darian Durant. The last time they played here, he would wave his arms in the silent count to get the motion started for his receiver. Then he would lift his foot up, and that would be a signal to Dominic Ricard, the center, because the noise is so loud that in the next 2 count, he would snap the ball. Durant had issues with that because he had to take his eyes off the secondary. So they've changed the system now, and he's going to try and bark it out.
Just 115 yards passing last time in. 2nd down. Pressure coming. Durant hit, and the ball falls incomplete. Teague Sherman off the edge. The dime linebacker, or the strong side linebacker, got there, and Zach Anderson was in the neighborhood.
Well, E.J. Kowali is going to help out. Kowali's going to take the first block, and then it's going to be Teague Sherman that comes free because of it. You need one guy to take the edge blocker and Will Ford. That's Kowali's job. Teague Sherman comes around the edge. The linebackers adjust while Darian Durant is trying to get the ball, the cadence called, and get the football back to him.
Boy, Teague Sherman's had a great year. First year as a starter in the Winnipeg defense. First 2 and out. First incompletion for Darian Durant. And Milo with a one hopper that Stoudemire doesn't field cleanly. Special team player of the week last week. Going to lose yards here. Turns out to be a 48-yard punt and a loss on the return. Drew Willie back to work. Tie game here in Winnipeg in the Banjo Bowl as the Bombers look for their first win of the year against the Roughriders. CFL on TSN continues with Wendy's Friday Night Football. Live coverage of the Alouettes and Eskimos gets underway 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific across 4 of TSN's newly expanded feeds. Eskimos losing 41-34 last night, 38-31. Alouettes prevailing today against Hamilton.
Mike Riley was close. Didn't start in that game. Should be ready next week.
A little offense back. Last couple of games, which is,
you know, not surprising. It's not surprising because the offenses will catch up when they've seen the defense and what they're trying to do for a second time, and in some cases a third time, like right here this afternoon.
I'm a little surprised after Friday night.
Yeah. Went to a football game and a hockey game broke out, but boy, we all hope the best for Travis Lulay, who was injured in that game.
5 for Grigsby, 2nd and 5. Bomber 30. Extra man is sent, and Drew Willie taken down. Roughriders get home for the first time. Looks like Trevor Guyton will get credit for the sack. Former Viking draft choice gets his 2nd sack of the year.
When Drew Willie has been able to step up in the pocket, he has found crossing receivers. He's not allowed to step up because the interior of the D-line for the Saskatchewan Roughriders, a little help from Brian Peters. Dylan Ainsworth on a bit of a stunt as well. He gets there. They eliminated the escape lanes inside.
There's a high snap from Fitzgerald over the head of Hairolahu, who wisely just boots it out for the safety. But again, both teams with new long snappers, and you wondered, would it be an adventure today? Well, we won't put the blocked field goal on Fitzgerald, but clearly trouble here. And 2 more points for the Roughriders as they regain the lead. Well, we had expected Carl Fitzgerald to handle the long snapping. It's actually Kyle Jones who sails this over the head of Hairolahu.
Yeah, and it's not just snapping the football you got to think about when it's your first time out there doing it. The backup linebacker's got to think about the guy who's going to hit him. In this case, it was Tristan Black who steps up and hits him. He's got to think about that guy lined up right over top of him, and when he comes, get that ball in the snap back first. You're going to take the hit anyway.
The long snapper, the guy we never talk about until trouble rears its ugly head. Will Ford on a return. He had a kick return for a touchdown last year in this game for the Blue Bombers. 28 on that return for Saskatchewan.
Part of the three-headed beast that is this Saskatchewan running game. They lead the league rushing the football. And you take a look at the combined numbers with these 3 players. Will Ford, the speed guy to the outside, Jerome Messam, the power back, and of course Anthony Allen, who does a little bit of both. If one guy is producing this yardage, it'd be a 1,000-yard season already for the tailback in Saskatchewan, on pace for 2,000. They do it by committee.
This drive starts the Roughrider 45-yard line. Hand off to Allen, trying to get outside. And Anthony Allen, a good run. He'll carry Teague Sherman a couple of extra yards to midfield. 10 yards and a first down.
Yeah, Georgia Tech product can do a little bit of both. He's got the speed to get to the outside, but he's also got the power to run over you. And he's going to bounce this one nicely when he doesn't like what he sees up in the middle. And just off tackle, bounces it, gets the edge. Bit of a block outside from Brett Swain.
Allen had the game-winning touchdown with 28 seconds left. Last week, 15-yard run. First down at midfield. Back in his hands again. 5 more for Allen.
You talk to coaches and general managers across the league, and they'll tell you that the best offensive line in the league, with due respect to Calgary Stampeders O-line, which is in the discussion, is the Saskatchewan front five. And they're missing one of their best in Chris Best, who's out at guard. Dan Clark back in there again.
Number one rushing team at 146 yards per game. Winnipeg has surrendered 173 per game in the last 3 starts. 2nd and 5, and there's Messam, second level. And the big man crashes down inside the 35. 17 for Jerome Messam, who's done most of his damage against Winnipeg this year.
As Winnipeg Blue Bombers schematically have got to be careful about putting their middle linebacker off the edge here. That's E.J. Kowale. Now, I talked to him about stopping this run game. He's going to be in trouble if he's going to try and stop it from over there off the edge all the time. He's got to get back in the middle and meet Jerome Messam in the hole.
74% of Messam's rushing yards this year against Winnipeg. 17 there. And now back in Allen's hands. Down to the 28. Chroma with the stop.
Chroma at 227. E.J. Kowale at 229 gives him a chance. Those two linebackers are run stoppers. Ian Wild is smaller. Good tackler.
Problem is, Jerome Messam's 245.
Yeah. We're in a rock and a hard place.
2nd and 6. Do they stay on the ground? Blitz. Durant gets it away. But Allen has stopped. Maurice Leggett, the safety, closed quickly to limit the damage and set up 3rd down.
Damon Washington off one edge, or through the B gap. Leggett as well. And Teague Sherman. Here comes one, number 7, Damon Washington. All-out blitz from the Winnipeg defense, and Durant has no choice but to chuck it and duck it. Dump it off to Anthony Allen here to save the loss.
Levi Steinauer out for the rest of the year, so there's Brian Peters, the linebacker, in to handle the long snap duties for Saskatchewan. And Chris Milo has got this one from 35 yards out. Missed from 35 on the opening Rough Rider possession of the game. But Saskatchewan increases their lead. It's now 13-8.
Both these teams have to settle down their special teams play a little bit. A couple of little mistakes here and there, bad snaps, just the fundamentals. Remember Damon Washington early in the game running around the back of the end zone for no apparent reason. That drew a penalty from his teammate E.J. Kowale. Small things like that. Bob Dyson, the special teams coach for Saskatchewan. Going to have that discussion at halftime here in about 5 minutes. Settle it down, back to fundamentals. Those mistakes can cost you.
Bombers start at their own 35, and they'll run the sweep. Studemeyer in. This is the first time we've seen him in that formation, trying to take advantage of his speed and his recent success, but the Rough Riders were waiting for it. Flag on the play.
Yeah, rallied to the ball well. That Saskatchewan defense. There was not much room for Studemeyer to find an opening.
Holding, Winnipeg, number 39. 10-yard penalty, remains 1st down.
The fullback, Pombriand, called 4 penalties in this first half. They've all gone against Michael O'Shea's crew.
The Riders elect to take the penalty, put Winnipeg, get the down over, but now they're 1st and 20. And the goal here, especially in your own end, if you're Drew Willie, is just get that penalty yardage back on 1st down.
3 receivers to the near side. Willie looking that way. He's got Corey Watson, who can't make the catch. Low throw. Macho Harris in the area.
Like he just rushed it a little bit. Drew Willie didn't set up properly here. He knew where he wanted. He even took a peek at it. You saw that close-up of his inside the mask. Took a little peek knowing he wanted to throw it to Corey Watson, who was a little nicked in practice this week with a bit of a calf issue. And that ball just a little bit behind him.
Willie completed 5 of his first 6. He's now 3 of his last 7. 2nd and 10. Pocket collapsing on a roll. Trying to beat Dylan Ainsworth and can't do it. Check that, Chad Kilgore with the tackle.
Chad Kilgore is allowed to flow to the football because this pressure, John Chick lined up at the nose in a 3-man front, allows Chad Kilgore to slide to the football. And you can see the double team right here on John Chick. Normally a rush end, the sack leader in the Canadian Football League. He gets the double team, but he also allows Chad Kilgore to slide to the football.
Willie with a big run for a touchdown last week. Hairolahu, another high snap but pulled down, and that one bouncing down to Dressler. He'll get the 5-yard, no yards called. Chris Randall, a quick tackle. He'll assess 5 on the play. We get the 3-minute warning here. First half in Winnipeg. Just under 3 minutes left, first half. Then it's TSN at the half with Rod Schultze, Jock, and Milt. We'll also have the GMC Coach's Playbook as Paul Lapalisse breaks down that blocked field goal. Darian Durant has the lead, has the football, pretty good field position. Start for the Roughriders at their own 52. And they'll hand it off straight ahead. Messam again, plowing close to another first down. The safety, Maurice Leggett, makes the tackle, but almost 10 more for Messam.
Winnipeg will go with different looks in their front 7 up front. This time they've got these guys bunched up pretty tight. And it's going to allow for some angles for the blocking off the edge from Xavier Fulton, Ben Heenan, the tackles. That's going to give Messam some room to run outside.
First 2 games he had 6 carries of at least 10 yards. Now Anthony Allen. And a quick stop on that play. Well, the long snapper situation becomes more interesting. We saw the Kyle Jones problem. We expected it would be Carl Fitzgerald, and he's now warming up on the sidelines along with Mike Renaud. Hairolahu told me yesterday that Fitzgerald had been snapping all season long as an insurance, and he had full confidence in the St. Mary's product. First down, Durant back to pass, looking for Taj Smith. And the catch is made. 11 yards, but a flag on the play.
It'll be on E.J. Kowali, I believe.
Major foul, roughing the passer. Winnipeg, number 1. 15 at the end of the play, first down.
That's the 4th 15-yarder assessed against the Bombers in the first half.
And second for E.J. Kowali on a late hit. It's a delayed blitz here from the linebacker. You see those D linemen bunched up again in the middle. Tough to get a pass rush from those angles. And there's a late hit by Kowali. He could have pulled off that after Durant had thrown the football.
Well, the Roughriders with the first down, double tight end formation at the Bomber 20. And they'll pitch it left side. Allen with some blocking. Teague Sherman there, though, caught off the block and makes the tackle. Seven more for Anthony Allen on the ground.
Big block here from Brett Swain. Receivers, when the strength of your offense is your running game, you got to do this a little bit. And watch Brett Swain come down and give the edge to Anthony Allen on this toss. Right in here, he's got it all blocked up with Xavier Fulton, the big tackle, pulling around.
Well, they foul again for Anthony Allen. Breaks through, touchdown. Ran through the tackle of Abe Chroma and hits Paydirt again. 12-yard touchdown run, And Anthony Allen has 3 touchdowns in 2 weeks against the Bombers.
2 of the 3-headed beasts in the game. Tight end Jerome Messam comes down, gets a late block. And Anthony Allen, he'll carry the rock. He'll take it in. Georgia Tech product. Breaks a couple of tackles, and Michael O'Shea has got to shore up his run defense.
The Riders hit the century mark in rushing, 100 yards in the opening half. And it has been a recurring theme in this season series between these two teams.
Big blocks there from Brendan Labatt. We had a nice conversation with Brendan Labatt yesterday, talking about how much the offensive linemen love to run block. Can lean on that front hand a little bit, step up. He's going to be in the double team with Dominic McCard. Make sure there's no inside penetration from the defensive tackles. Chroma flies over there. Anthony Allen will take him on. Breaks that tackle right there. Chroma doesn't get upfield enough and get his head on the front of the running back. And the running game continues to roll for the Saskatchewan Roughriders.
There's Brendan Labatt. Wanted to have a little shout out to his family. They're all in Boone, Iowa this week for the Stock Car Super Nationals. Boy, Studemeyer flying up to the 30-yard line. Former NCAA kick return record holder.
That's Coach Doug Malone, the offensive line coach. Brendan Labatt told us yesterday that he gives him a lot of credit for this run game. He says that he is teaching us, and these are veterans, and he's teaching them this year to get upfield, to block horizontally, not vertically. It's easy to hit a defensive lineman and try and ride him along this line of scrimmage to take him out of a hole. He wants the guys up front to go ahead and drive. Get horizontal, get down the field, get to the next level.
First down, Willie. Here comes pressure, and there is John Chick. Drought over. First sack in 3 games, if you can call it a drought, is number 13 on the year.
Back to his normal rush end position. And John Chick, you knew it wasn't going to be long. He's been taking the double team last couple of weeks. He's been having tackles block him, but also running backs come off and try and chip on him. And that's why last week Ricky Foley had 2 sacks opposite John Chick, but he's back on the board, 13th.
Roughriders had 4 last week. 4th of the year for Chick against the Bombers. Screenplay on 2nd and a bunch. And a quick stop by Marche Green back in the green and white defense for Saskatchewan.
Now the record for sacks in a single season is held by James Quick Parker, former BC Lion, at 26.5. Joe Mumford had 26 in 1999. And there's Grover Covington, again a former Hamilton Tiger Cat. Those are the guys that John Chick is chasing this year. The way he's playing, wouldn't bet against him.
So Chick assisting on the 3rd consecutive 2-and-out for the Winnipeg offense. Just under record pace now. 12 consecutive multi-sack games for Saskatchewan, and now Fitzgerald is the long snapper. Gets it back to Hairolahu. And the result, a better punt. Dressler at his own 35, trying to get outside. Found a crease. Weston Dressler down the sidelines. And catch back, he'll score. He's back. Weston Dressler, 75 yards and a punt return touchdown for Saskatchewan.
He looks faster than he was last year. He's going to take this punt and go to the wide field. Finds a small hole cuts up inside. Does not step out of bounds along the rail. Weston Dressler is back.
You know, the reaction of the fans here who felt there might have been a hold on the return. "65-yard gallop by Dressler. Milo the extra point. And the Roughriders open up a 27-8 lead.
Michael Pierre-Poilievre was trying to get outside to stop Dressler. And this is the replay that was shown in-house here in Winnipeg, and why the crowd is unhappy.
Alex Perchelski
grabbing the jersey of Poilievre, not allowing him to get outside to contain. And the crowd here saw that replay.
The holding call is becoming extinct in this league. Weston Dressler back. And that's the first punt return touchdown of the year for Saskatchewan. They had a missed field goal return by Tristan Jackson against Ottawa. But you think back to a 7-1 lead and attempting a field goal for Winnipeg to go ahead 10-1. They get it blocked, and it's been going wrong for the Bombers ever since. Pioli Godino cut down by Brackenridge on the return.
Late penalty flags
in front of the Winnipeg bench.
Frustration showing already. We'll sort this out. Well, you're right, Chris. I mean, you start this game offensively. If you're the Bombers, you go on a 90-yard scoring drive. You feel pretty good about yourself at home. But the special teams are letting down Michael O'Shea right now. A block kick for a touchdown. A return for a touchdown. An errant snap for 2 points and a safety.
While the ball was in flight, holding Winnipeg, number 13. Major foul, Saskatchewan, number 30. The difference is 5 yards, first down.
And it almost is like adding insult to injury when a holding call on the Bomber return is made. First penalty against Saskatchewan.
Important for the coaches here. You can agree or disagree. You can see the obvious ones that aren't called. The fans can get into it as they are, and you know they will. It's up to the players to just let it go. You cannot start getting frustrated or start to think about they're getting away with holding calls, we're not, and start pointing your fingers at the referees. That's not going to get anything accomplished. Bombers got to get on track. I don't know if they have time here. It's going to be in the second half.
My question, it snowballed on them in the first half. What do you do with 33 seconds? Just kill the clock? Or do you take a shot from your own 16? Really going through his reads, more pressure. Flag down as he dumps it off. Corey Watson breaks the tackle. And another. Going to kill the clock himself. Long time before Corey Watson goes down. There are a couple of flags after all that.
If one of these flags is holding Winnipeg,
and I'm sure one is,
I'm not sure what we're going to see from the crowd on this announcement.
One was certainly in that area.
Holding Winnipeg, number 69. Major foul, roughing the passer, Saskatchewan, number 70. We'll go back to the original line of scrimmage, up 5 yards, and it's an automatic first down.
So the hold, Glenn January, Derek Walker called for roughing the passer. And it gives Winnipeg a first down.
We'll go ahead and take a look and see if we see the holding. It looks like John Chick again on the double team. There's a hit by Derek Walker.
Willie underneath. There's Aaron Kelly, and he's brought down quickly. Tristan Jackson, quick stop there after a 7-yard gain with the Baker's dozen left on the clock. So they're not just running the clock out here.
Take a shot here.
You would think after the last 2 play calls they would. Oh, another quick hitter, Denmark, brought down, first down at the 35, but time's out. That's the end of the half. After a 7-1 lead for Winnipeg early, it's 27-8 at the half at Investors Group Field. 19-point lead for the Roughriders as we get set for the second half of the Banjo Bowl. But first, let's go to the sidelines. Sarah Orlesky with Mike O'Shea.
Mike, among the things that proved costly in that first half was penalties. How, as a coach, do you address that?
Well, we tried to address it all week, but obviously to no avail. We took some stupid penalties. I think 3 URs in the first quarter alone, possibly. We just can't do it, especially in a tight game.
You gave up 100 yards on the ground in that first half. I know you've said that you haven't been concerned about how this team has been stopping the run, but how do you shore that up a bit in the second half?
Well, they got to be more sure on their tackles, and we got to pursue better. We can't rely on one guy making a tackle, and that's not the issue. Right now, we gave up 16 points on special teams. That's the difference. It's an 11-8 game without those special teams miscues. So
thank you.
Thank you.
And you know that hurts him to say as a special team guru in this league.
Yeah, special teams coach before taking over the head coach job in Winnipeg. They had a block kick that Rod Williams took back for a touchdown. A snap that went over the head of Hairolahu. That's the 2 points they had to give up on the safety. And of course, Weston Dressler's big return for another major. So coach is right, 16 points, miscues on the teams.
Was a 26-point second quarter for Saskatchewan. Most points in a quarter by them all year. Studemeyer with a good return, and Brian Peters will toss him down at the 49, but a decent way to start to give Drew Willie field position to open this third quarter.
So I would agree with the coach for the Bombers that special teams an issue. Those penalties that Sarah mentioned, an issue. But defensively, they've got to stop the run. I mean, 100 yards rushing in the first half for the Saskatchewan Roughriders. They still haven't found the answer there either.
Drew Willie to work. 4 receivers wide side of the field. Fake to Grigsby. Pressure on. He'll take off into Rough Rider territory, and Willie's got a first down to the Saskatchewan 43.
Active in the pocket. Drew Willie felt some pressure late in that first half. John Chick got his 13th sack on the season. You could see takes the second half and he never really settles. Doesn't like what he sees to the play side, but because he's active, moving, he finds a lane to the left of the formation.
Saskatchewan, number 35. That penalty is declined. Play result in a first down.
Legal contact, the call on Weldon Brown, but declined. They'll take the 18-yard pickup by Willie. Has a couple of rushing touchdowns on the year, both against his old team. So a first down Winnipeg at the Rough Rider 43. Fake to Grigsby, Rory Collard. And he runs into some traffic, and a quick stop to that play at the 40. 3-4 for Collard. A little slow to get up.
Well, I want to say it was Weldon Brown who drives his man, who's Aaron Kelly. Collard's the wide receiver. He's going to catch this little hit screen back here. But watch 35 to take his man right back into Rory Collard. Weldon Brown making an impact on his return.
Collard now with 23 catches on the year, 13 against Saskatchewan. Pass is caught, Grigsby out of the backfield, cuts back in. First down, Nick Grigsby inside the 20. Number 2 in the league among running backs. And did Collard come up with the football at the end of the play?
This is that patent safety blitz from Tyron Brackenridge, the safety. He times it up and he's coming here. He is open, but he's going to be picked up by the center, Steve Morley. who snaps the football to Drew Willie. Then he's going to peel out of there, come out, recognize the blitz, and get a piece of Brackenridge. That allows Drew Willie to get it to Grigsby. He does the rest.
20 for Grigsby and a first down inside the Rough Rider 20.
Grigsby's trying to get out here and get the kick out block. Again, it's John Chick who's going to just slide inside. He's trying to get to Macho Harris, and he trips over the heels for Cordero Howard.
We saw him on the limp at the end of last week's game and early in this game.
Now, it's not Howard's fault on that, because he has to drop when his man disappears, and that man was John Chick on the stunt inside. He has to drop back, get a little bit more space, and take a look for a stunter coming from inside out. He was able to walk it off last time. We'll see if Nick Grigsby can do the same here.
After being leg whipped, Carl Volney likely to come in. He has 58 yards on 7 touches in this game, with a touchdown has Grigsby, and now Volney takes over. 2nd and 5. Here comes pressure. Willie gets it away. It's caught. Forward. Touchdown. Rory Cullen has his 3rd touchdown of the year.
Riders are saying he fumbled, but if he crossed the plane before the ball came out, it's a touchdown. And let's take one look here. It will be under review as we speak. And yeah, no question, it crossed the plane, and it came out when his elbow hit the ground. Touchdown, Winnipeg. And boy, did the Bombers need that.
No question. Had quite a year. Undrafted, Regina native. 4 catches last week. And a touchdown here to give the Bombers some life in the 3rd quarter. Irolahu the extra point. 5 plays, 61-yard touchdown drive. And Kohler with the major score for the Bombers.
Let's take a look at one of the differences in Canadian football for our U.S. viewers on ESPN here. Unlimited motion in Canadian football, so all receivers can not only be moving in motion at the same time, but they can be going towards the line of scrimmage. 3 receivers on the 4-receiver side for the Bombers going towards the line in motion before the snap. Rory Kohler comes underneath all of that, finds the hole, and scores a very important major for the Bombers.
Irolahu kicks it off. And this will be Tristan Jackson who drops the football. Picks it up and gets sliced down in a hurry. Damon Washington. And a little early 3rd quarter momentum for the Bombers.
Boy, it carries over, doesn't it? Opening drive, start the 2nd half. Team that's trailing, they get that touchdown. Get some momentum, as you mentioned, Chris. It carries over to the cover team, and Damon Washington there in a hurry. Now, Tristan Jackson didn't help himself and let it hit his chest and then hit the ground.
Prior to the kickoff, I was going to say this is a critical series in the football game. Enhanced by the play of Washington. Home team, home crowd back in it. Can they get the stop they need early? Messam up to the 15. Maybe a couple. Better run defense to start.
A lot of movement on that defensive front. They like to create angles on the D-line, which makes it difficult to pass protect. Talking to Brendan Labatt yesterday, Gary Echeverry's defense, difficult to pass protect at times, but you can get angles in the run game. 100 yards in the 1st half. That was a good start for the Bombers on defense in the 2nd. Let's see.
2nd and 8. Durant to pass. Steps up. Takes off. And Darian Durant runs for a 1st down. up across the 25-yard line. Last year, a regular season personal best 93-yard rushing game against Winnipeg.
Boy, when the games become more important, Darian Durant does this more often. He'll occasionally send out tweets to his fans, and he hashtags those tweets with BAMN. Calls it ban. Hashtag ban. By any means necessary.
That was a necessary 11 yards. Big first down in the hands of Anthony Allen, the leading rusher in the first half. Up across the 30, he has 5.
Oh, Anthony Allen. This is what I talked about, having a little bit of both. He's got the speed, but watch the power here. As he drops his shoulder, gets his pad level down at the point of impact. Steps in the hole, picks up 3 or 4 more after initial contact.
.51 for Allen. So far in the game, 2nd and 5, Roughriders. Durant the pass, pressure on, fumble, and it'll be scooped up by the Bombers. Bryant Turner got to the quarterback and dislodged the football, and Darian Durant's been hurt. Well, we lost Drew Willie, or Travis Lulay to injury Friday, and
Saskatchewan, 33.
I want to see this.
5-yard penalty remains, second down.
Yeah,
that play did not take place.
Corey Chamberlain just trying to get all he wants to know right now is the health of his quarterback. As Tino Sinceri is going to warm up quickly here.
So Corey Chamberlain out to check his quarterback. We're a little puzzled by the call that was against Saskatchewan. They're saying the play did not take place, that they halted play. And so the defense for the Bombers coming back onto the field.
Well, Brian Turner is going to put the hit on Darian Durant. Let's take a look at what may have happened here and why he's injured. Immediately grabs his throwing hand, throwing arm.
Jason Vega comes up with the football. Darian, a good friend of Travis Lulay's. He was telling us how badly he felt for Lulay watching on Friday night. And eerie to see him now on the ground with what might be a significant injury as well.
Yeah, asked Durant. And he just said, it broke my heart to see what happened to Travis. And everybody, certainly everyone at TSN, hoping he'll be okay. And same goes for Darian Durant, who's really in a lot of discomfort right now. He was in full release with that right arm. And the full torque on that arm when Turner hit him.
Told us yesterday, at this point in the year, he had never felt better. And again, as he slowly makes his way to the sidelines, it remains Saskatchewan football. The officials on the field say a whistle went at the snap. And I think as the fans here realize that there has been no turnover, we're really going to have bedlam. What is the Roughriders season walking off the field right now? Tino Sinceri in the game, and it's 2nd and 10. Saskatchewan, more pressure, dumped off, and here's Anthony Allen with a convoy. And a first down up across the 45-yard line. 20 for Allen and a first down.
Hard to imagine that Darian Durant who didn't look good going off, could be out for some time on a play that didn't count because the whistle blew before the snap. The Riders turn around and get the first down on this dump pass. Little screen out to Anthony Allen.
Here's Messon, takes the handoff, and he is contained. Just a couple, maybe three. Up to the 44-yard line.
Tino Sunseri has played the second half in the Lions game. 8 of 13 for 86 yards in that one. Looked pretty good in BC when Durant had the hand injury.
Second and 7 for Sunseri and the Roughriders. Short drop, quick hitter. Dressler's got it. Kowali the tackle, but another Saskatchewan first down and a late flag. And will this be another penalty against Ejiro Kowali?
He told me yesterday that he was pumped up to step in and hit these running backs for Saskatchewan, but he's got to make better decisions.
After the first down had been made, unnecessary roughness. Winnipeg, number 1. 15 yards at the end of the play. First down.
It's another.
That's 3. 45 yards of penalties by one player. And another bad decision. Smart play by Dressler to get upfield. And then it's a little push at the end of it as Kowali just sort of headbutts Dressler on the ground.
4th catch for Dressler. He has 40 yards. First down. Anthony Allen trying to bump it outside. Little stumble as he hits the 35 and has 2 more. This all started at the 13-yard line. It looked like the Bombers had a takeaway that was taken away by an illegal procedure call that the referees say they blew the whistle prior to the snap.
Because of the crowd noise, no one could hear the whistle. The play continued, the same play that Durant is injured on.
And now a drive that has extended to its 9th play. 2nd and 8, Saskatchewan. Sunseri double clutches and may take off. He does. And lunging down to the 27, he'll be short of the first down.
It looked like he hit the deck. Looked like he thought he had first down territory. Hit the deck on purpose. And he's going to be about a yard short, maybe a little more.
At least a yard and maybe almost 2. Corey Chamberlain would like a measurement. He's not going to get it, and they're just going to send the field goal team in. Well, a costly drive for the Roughriders, but a big one in the context of this game to answer the Blue Bombers' drive with potential points here. But what a cost.
Yeah, as far as the game goes, it flopped field position and possible 3 points. But did it cost them their starting quarterback?
Excuse me, Soups. 3rd attempt of the game, all from the 35-yard line for Milo. And he's now 2 for 3. So 30-15 here in the 3rd quarter. Saskatchewan in the lead. Field goal on the drive, but this is the main story. Darian Durant hit by Bryant Turner and off with what looks like a wrist injury as he heads to the locker room. Let's check in with Sarah Orlesky.
Well, Chris, unfortunately, the Riders say that there will be no update on Darian Durant until after this game. What I can say is that when he was walking off, as you said, holding on to the right wrist, not moving his arm at all, and he was in an incredible amount of pain.
Well, a tough weekend it's been in the Canadian Football League for a couple of the most important players.
Well, and the circumstance of the play too, I'm sure is frustrating for Corey Chamberlain, for Darian Durant, and for Dan Clark, because one more time on the hit. Bryant Turner is playing. He doesn't hear any whistle. I just wonder if Dan Clark heard a whistle that occurred just after the snap of the football and kind of led up while the play continues. Everyone across the board continued to play. Durant didn't see it coming and was in full release mode with that throw when he ran into Turner.
Pass over the middle, complete to Aaron Kelly. A catch for the first down up at the 45. I'll extend that frustration level to the Bombers and their fans as well.
Well, yeah, absolutely. I mean,
this is a turnover,
and if
this
the whistle
game is a lot tighter than it is right now.
Yeah, and if the whistle happened after the snap of the football, no one stopped.
And our production crew confirming there is audio of the whistle
after the snap.
After the snap. First down, Bombers. And the handoff inside. It's Grigsby back in the game. So,
but in the bigger picture, Chris, and you touched on it, I mean, Travis Lulay on the weekend, and now Darian Durant. Well, you hate to see the stars of this league going down. And Mike Riley poised to return with a thumb injury, but has missed 2 games in Edmonton. Tino Sinceri's show now for Saskatchewan. See if Drew Willie get things going here offensively for Winnipeg.
2nd and 5 Bombers. Grigsby stayed in to block. Now Willie will take off. Got a block from Grigsby, and that gave him enough for the first down. Grigsby bought him an extra couple yards.
Yeah, Grigsby thought for a second that he was going to get that little check down pass from Drew Willie. As he got out there, Willie just kind of waved him on. Said, no time, not this time. I'm going to take off and run. Just go and get somebody. And I think Grigsby just gets enough.
Just chips Kilgore here, more than a chip.
Gets enough of Chad Kilgore there, and it was Peters that finally brings him down after a 7-yard gain.
Here comes the Brackenridge blitz. Willie pump, and looking deep for Kohler. And overthrows him by a stride or two with Tristan Jackson on his hip.
Well, this is the answer to the Tyron Brackenridge blitz from the safety spot. The answer is to block him up with Nick Grigsby, who, by the way, Drew Willie told us yesterday, Grigsby is becoming one of the best blockers in the game. He said in the last couple of games, he has graded out 100% in pass protection. He's going to come up and take Brackenridge on the safety blitz. Now, they don't hook up with it, but that's the answer. Block up the blitz and then go deep.
Now looking at 2nd and 10. Grigsby stays in again, another flag, and this play doesn't get off.
Well, it doesn't. This play, they do hear their whistle and blow it dead. I just wanted to show you the play quickly, though, because, again, another blitz, another pickup from
procedure.
Nick Grigsby.
Winnipeg, number 68. 5-yard penalty remains 2nd down.
Cordero Howard, the right tackle, flinched prior to the snap.
Howard with the early movement. Grigsby with back-to-back blocks on Brackenridge.
So it's 2nd and 15. Pressure off the edge, and they get Willie. Terrell Mays, halfback blitz, gets home for another sack. 3rd of the game for the Roughriders.
I just have to wonder if Nick Grigsby was looking at Brackenridge as the blitzer. Brackenridge gets out of there. Grigsby's looking back down here. He doesn't see Terrell Mays. He's back there to block anyone from the secondary that comes. He takes Peters in the middle. Brian Peters, the linebacker, doesn't see the blitzing halfback.
First sack of the year for Terrell Mays, who, of course, was the hero in the first meeting here in Winnipeg with the late pick 6. Dressler lets it bounce into the end zone. Got a veteran back there who makes the right decision.
Absolutely.
And it goes as a 87-yard rouge for Liram Hairolahu. 30-16, Saskatchewan. Believe in the impossible. The fastest man alive comes to CTV, The Flash. Tuesday starting October 7th. Got some other superheroes.
Bomber fans were doing the running motion. The running man. The running man dance. The crowd.
So it is Tino Sinceri's game. You saw Darian Durant go off in the last series. Roughriders starts at their 35 after the long single point, and the handoff inside. Anthony Allen churns for 9 as we check in with Sarah Orlesky.
Yes.
Out of microphone problems. We'll get back to Sarah momentarily. So Sinceri in the game, and I know we've talked a lot about it, but even more onus on the Bombers to stop the run. Second and short here, and Allen will pound for a first down and a lot of extra yards. Now let's check in with Sarah.
Chris, I can give you an update on Darian Durant that we have just received, and it's that it's his elbow, they say right now, right elbow. Obviously, he is done for the game. He's continuing to be assessed, and they hope to have a better update after the game.
You know, they'll be checking x-rays in the as soon as possible for Darian Durant,
and they will lean on the run game.
Yes, they will.
And they're running the ball successfully again. Been a better second half team. And this is what I was talking about early on with offensive linemen getting up and vertical, blocking downfield rather than horizontal, as coached by Doug Malone, their offensive line coach. Hit that vertical push.
2nd and 4. Back in the hands of Allen, and this time a stop. And did the ball come loose?
Did he fumble?
Real scramble down there for the football, and the Bombers have got it. 3rd fumble of the year for Anthony Allen, who got into trouble early on with the Roughriders for dropping the ball. And here's a big turnover for the Bombers here with 10 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. Was he down? Teague Sherman contact. Well, this one will be under review. Well, this play under review, and looks like Anthony Allen was down by contact prior to the fumble with the ball coming loose. Take another look as the command center reviews this play.
Now he's in the air. If he's in the air and the ball comes out, obviously he hasn't touched down any part, the knee, the forearm, but this angle will show you it looks like he has possession of the ball until the elbow touches the ground. And the moment the elbow hits, then the ball pops out. It actually sat on his legs for what felt like a couple of seconds before the Bombers recovered it. And that's why they're taking a while here coming out of break to review this, getting it from the command center back in Toronto. But the replay we showed you, the hit from Teague Sherman, it looked like Allen had possession until his forearm hit the turf.
Allen shaken up on the sidelines, perhaps, or is he just shaken up by another ball coming loose? And you made the point earlier, Will Ford told us yesterday, we don't talk about it at all. Just a little too much focus on dropping the football early in the season, and it cost Anthony Allen some time on the field.
Well, he started the season with a 100-yard game, 100-yard rushing game for Anthony Allen. Just a great start, but he did fumble. In the opener, Allen had 158 yards against Hamilton, but he fumbled a couple times and was benched. Well-documented story now. Sat on the sideline for a couple of games. Well, they played with Will Ford, Jerome Messam, and Hugh Charles, who was cut because of a fumble in Saskatchewan.
13 carries, 79 yards for Allen so far today. It's taking a lot longer than you'd anticipate.
Yeah, again, they have to find conclusive evidence to overturn a challenge, or just, overturn a call in a review situation. And I think that's probably what they're trying to judge right now. Is this enough evidence? We'll see.
After review, the ball carrier was down. It is 3rd down and a yard and a half to go. Saskatchewan ball.
Not a popular decision here, but the right call.
Yeah, I think it is the right call. I mean, you just saw enough of the football on this angle here. When Anthony Allen's in the air, you could see the football still in his arms there. Then he hits the turf and it squirts out behind him.
Now the Blue Bombers did come up with a stop here. Short by a couple of yards, or is it? Let's see where they have marked the ball. It's going to be 3rd and at least a yard. And Chris Milo on to punt for the 2nd time today. And Josh Bartell hurt, hamstring injury in the Labor Day Classic. So Milo handling all the punting duties. Line drive kick, and it skips past Stoudemire. And Paul Waldo, the special team captain, down there to bring him down at the 6-yard line. So we're through 45 minutes at the Banjo Bowl. The Bombers score with their first possession of the 2nd half on that touchdown by Rory Collard, and a devastating injury for the Roughriders, Darian Durant. Heading to the 4th quarter, a couple of touchdown lead for the Roughriders.
Yeah, you take a look at this football game, and a lot has happened. Darian Durant out due to injury. The Saskatchewan Roughriders will again even lean on the run that much more, and the Bombers still haven't found a way to stop it. So far in 3 quarters, Saskatchewan has rushed for 155 yards, divided between those 3 running backs. So the Bombers have to stop the run.
And they need to generate offense. The good news is the passing game's been better, and Drew Willie trying to get that offense going again. They've just had 1 game out of the last 8 with 300+ yards of total offense. Willie started the year on fire with the passing game, has 4 300-yard games overall.
And the good news for Bomber fans is that he's hit a couple of deep balls here this afternoon.
Backed up here and some early movement. See if it was the Bombers or Saskatchewan. We saw a defensive lineman, but Drew Willie's reaction tells you it was one of his guys. And they're backing up.
Procedure. Winnipeg, number 64. Hutchison's goal remains 1st down.
Left guard Chris Greaves this time.
Willie loves the deep ball. Feels like it's a big part of his game. They've had a couple. Often when you're backed up in your own end like this, that's the play you call. Try and get it all back, get out of your end in 1 throw.
The 11th penalty of the game. They hand it off. Instead, Grigsby broke loose. Gets him out of the hole up across the 30. The Arizona Wildcat takes it to the 33. 30-yard run for Nick Grigsby.
He's just going to hit it on the backside again. It's a lot of backside run plays. Little jab step to his right. Cuts the backside, and away he goes. A nice pull from Cordero Howard to open it up for Grigsby.
Had 68 in Saskatchewan last week. Has 68 on 7 carries today. Willie back. Pressure on. And now shovels it away. That's an incomplete pass. Little desperation there. Willie just avoiding the sack.
He wanted a deep throw here, and he wanted to get the football to Romby Bryant, who was well covered. Tyron Brackenridge stayed deep, and he got underneath. And boy, Drew Willie wanted to pull the trigger on a deep ball here. Watch how he tries to. He looks out there. That's a pump fake on a double move. Now he wants to get rid of it, and then just sees Brackenridge in good position at the last second.
Grigsby to the sidelines. They empty out the backfield and have a 6-receiver set on 2nd and 10. Little slant pattern to Rory Collard underneath is short as he is stopped at the 38-yard line. Just 5 on 2nd and 10.
The reason this play didn't work and some of those crossing routes have earlier in the game is just the fact that Willie needed a little more time. He needed to step up or move around to allow Rory Collard to get through the linebackers and get on the other side of him. Because he couldn't get on the other side and he was right in the middle when he caught it. Pretty easy tackle for the Rider defense.
Weston Dressler back. His 2nd career punt return touchdown in the first half. Had one against Montreal in 2012. Trying to get outside here. And is caught this time. Chris Randall does a nice job to bring Dressler down quickly. Well, we talked a lot about the run game. They'll be trying to ride that out for Saskatchewan, led by the big horse, Jerome Messam, here in the 4th quarter. The CFL on TSN is brought to you by GMC. We are professional grade. Roughriders looking for their 7th consecutive win, something they've never done in a single season before. Had an 11-win streak over 2 seasons in the past. Looking for their 13th win and 15 starts against the Bombers. And off to Will Ford. And Teague Sherman's been active inside on defense for Winnipeg.
They need to get active. And right now, Abe Croma, backup middle linebacker, is in there for E.J. Kowali, who has taken 3 15-yard penalties in this game this afternoon and has found a spot on the bench beside Michael O'Shea.
And Ian Wild, their leading tackler, out with a shoulder injury, suffered late last week. 2nd and 6. And Sinceri's going to throw. Pocket collapsing, and down he goes. Zach Anderson with the sack, his 4th of the year. His 1st since mid-July.
Talk about Zach Anderson, you talk about his motor. That it doesn't matter if it's the first play or the 4th play or the 4th quarter and the last play. He is full speed in every one of them. Nice little spin move right at the top of that pass rush to get underneath and get to Sinceri.
Beat Dan Clark, who replaces the injured Chris Best. 2nd sack of the game. Pressure on, and Milo gets it away, and it's a good one. Studemeyer back at his 32 and bumped out just beyond the 35-yard line. Better series for that Bomber defense, led by Zach Anderson with his 4th sack of the year. Our sack tally is brought to you by Purelator, tackling hunger across Canada. Check. As we climb close to 1 million pounds collected this season.
Well, John Chick is doing his part. He got another one here this afternoon. He's at 13. And getting a bit of a rest on this 1st down, but.
And of those sacks, 34 by the defensive lineman. And a little reverse and flea flicker back to Willie. And open downfield. Pass caught by Pombriand. Punished by Brackenridge. But the Bombers have a 1st down at the Rough Rider 45.
Now this is a tight end in Pombriand who, boy, does a nice job to maintain his focus. He's not used to having this kind of space around him. It's that triple reverse pass. There's the first play, little toss to Aaron Kelly, back to the quarterback, Drew Willie. And a lot of time for Pombriand to think about that one, has to go up and get it, knowing Brackenridge is coming downhill to make the hit for a 28-yard gain. Nice concentration for the tight end.
Pombriand won a collision against Brackenridge last week. Brackenridge got him back there, and Grigsby inside lost 2 on the next play. Grigsby in and out of this game as he's been hobbled for the last week or so. So 2nd and 12.
The guy we haven't heard from much is Aaron Kelly. He had a good start to the season. been very quiet. He's got 3 catches, but quiet 3.
And 2 of them on the opening series. Need to keep the chains moving. Pressure's on. Willie's got to throw it away. Heat was on. Guess who? 97 in the neighborhood. Willie hit at the end of the play, and the fans, I believe, were anticipating there might be a call.
Different looks from the Saskatchewan defense, and Nick Grigsby is trying to figure out who to block. He goes over to Brian Peters. He gets there late. Chick gets there. And there was also a blitz coming from Terrell Mays.
So Hairulahu looks for the pin as he takes the long snap from Fitzgerald, and this is a good one bouncing down, but Dressler lets it roll into the end zone. Looked like that might take a turn out of bounds, but instead it's another single, a 50-yard Rouge. It's a 13-point game now. Just under 10 minutes to go. Tino Sinceri with the football in the lead here in Winnipeg. Well, tomorrow coverage of the 2014 U.S. Open concludes the men's final. Chilich and Nishikori, the surprise matchup, comes your way. Who will be crowned champion? 5 Eastern, 2 Pacific on TSN2.
I'm going with Chilich.
I was going with Federer or Djokovic.
Oh, they're out.
First down, Roughriders. Anthony Allen off the right side. Big chunk.
Oh, boy.
And Allen into the secondary, across midfield. I sense a recurring theme here.
Yeah, it is a recurring theme, and the Riders get stronger in the second half and even stronger in the fourth quarter. Right in the middle of your screen, folks, it's Anthony Allen, who's going to take this off the right side. There's the vertical blocks going up the field. Dan Clark getting that lead up in the hole.
Over 100 yards, Anthony Allen's second 100-yard game of the year. First down, Bomber 54. And they all have their own flea flicker. And Sinceri going deep. And Maurice Leggett, closest man to the football, can't flag it down. Now,
safety not fooled.
You a little surprised that...
I'm surprised they don't just keep doing this. Just keep running the ball. There's the last 4 games, and the trend has continued here in this one. You take a look at first half rushing yards for the Riders as they sort of establish it in the first half, and then, come on. Teams would like that kind of total and that kind of average over the entire game, let alone in just the second half.
81 yards in the second half on the ground so far in this game. 2nd and 10. Pressure, Sinceri gets it away, and a battle downfield. That's the first pass. Well, that's Perchalski.
Now, here's a surprise for me. We just showed you some incredible rushing numbers. And George Cortez on the last series on 2nd and 4 went with a shotgun throw. Tino Sinceri was sacked, and the Riders punted. On first down in this drive, on this last 2 sequence of downs, they go to that flea flicker, try to fool Winnipeg. They don't get it done. Throw on 2nd down. We just showed you some undeniable rushing numbers. That's a little surprise to me.
Milo gets it away. And this will bounce out inside the 20. George Cortez has said, when we are running well, we'll just keep running.
And the Bombers have yet to prove that they can stop that run. As I mentioned, Gary Etcheberry's system can get great angles when you're pass rushing for the front 7. It makes it difficult to block. In fact, opposing teams and offensive linemen will tell you that pass blocking can be a challenge. But it also takes those guys out of position occasionally in their run defense. And
Drew Willie will be inducted this week in the University of Buffalo Hall of Fame, where he made a name for himself as a comeback kid. Pass over the middle is caught. Clarence Denmark A lot of comebacks in his career at Buffalo. We've seen a few this year. And he still has time here midway through the fourth quarter to generate one against the Roughriders.
Well, back in 2008, he took the Bulls to the MAC championship, a big win over Ball State in that one, 42-24. Really brought Buffalo back that season. Can he do it here this afternoon?
Closing in on what would be his fifth 300-yard game of the season. 19-yard hookup with Denmark. First down, here comes the Heat, gets it away, wants Robbie Bryant, incomplete, and again, Tristan Jackson in pretty good position defensively.
They've tested Tristan Jackson a couple of times, and he has been there in perfect position. Robbie Bryant just can't shake him. He's got that inside shade, make it a tougher throw over the outside shoulder, doesn't get fooled by that double move, the little stutter step, and look at that position. Right on the shoulder, turns back to the football. You can't play it any better than Tristan Jackson did there.
Willie leads the league in 30-plus yard completions. Up to 17 now. Stands in, fires, incomplete. And the pass broken up by Macho Harris, intended for Corey Watson. Macho fired up out of Virginia Tech. His alma mater with a stunning upset of Ohio State yesterday.
Boy, there was a nice open crossing route there from Corey Watson that had Drew Willie thrown it. Stop it right now, guys. If he throws it right now, Corey Watson is there for the completion in first down territory. But Willie holds the rock a little bit too long. Now it's extended, and Macho Harris closes.
Staying at strong side linebacker. We're going to get a challenge from Michael O'Shea. Does he? Well, he obviously believes Macho Harris got there a step ahead of the football.
Now, this is a new rule, Canadian Football League this year for our American viewers.
Winnipeg is challenging the previous play for defensive pass interference. It will be reviewed.
Coaches are allowed, if they have a timeout and a challenge, to challenge defensive pass interference. A little hand around the waist. And was it enough to draw the flag?
Well, we had one almost identical to this on Friday,
which wasn't overturned.
Which is the hand on the hip as opposed to the turning of the receiver.
Exactly. And to date, there's been 28 challenges of defensive pass interference, resulting in 6 of those being overturned.
After review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. There is no defensive pass interference. Third down.
And that's what they have done 95% of the time on those challenges. They will allow the hand to be on the back. They will allow to be a little bit of hand fighting. They will even allow a little pushing and shoving or pulling. It has to be blatant. It has to be a tackle. It has to be a missed clear pass interference for it to be overturned.
Irulahu with the boot, and here's Dressler on the return. Contain short return as the Roughriders take over. Well, up next, the 2014 NFL opening weekend continues. Stay tuned. Colts face the Broncos.
Nice.
Immediately following this game across 4 of our newly expanded TSN feeds. Manning against Luck, and we'll see Jarrell Freeman and Enoch Mwamba. A couple of former CFLers on the same Colts team. I think they sit close to each other in the locker room.
Well, I'm sure they had a bet. I mean, former Bomber, former Riders probably had a bet on this one. How did my Titans do?
We'll look to get an update on that. There were a few comebacks today. Bombers hoping to follow that theme.
Absolutely. It's my new team, the Tennessee Titans, because I spent some time down there.
Understand there are some folks watching in Nashville. We say hello to all the newcomers, and your Titans are 1-0.
Nice.
Zach Anderson to the sidelines. Now Greg Peachoff as Gary Echeverry changes things up on 2nd and 6. So does George Cortez run on 2nd and 6? Let's find out. Doesn't look like it.
Nope.
Pressure on. Sinceri looking for Swain, almost picked off. In and out of the hands of the league leader in interceptions, Maurice Leggett. Thought he had his 6th.
Well, we'll see how much field position was lost by the drop. And George Cortez continues to go away from his bread and butter. Now, some will say, come on, 2nd and 6, don't you have to throw the football? Well, that's double coverage on a corner route with the leading defensive back in the league when it comes to interceptions. Maurice Leggett almost had his 6th interception there.
Milo drives the punt. That's a beauty. Stoudemire inside his 15 with a stutter step, and he'll be brought down at the 25-yard line. Ryan Peters, good downfield cover again for the Roughriders. He's been terrific. He had 3 special team tackles last week, 5 tackles on defense as well. Drew Willie, now each series gaining in significance with 5:03 on the clock.
And that drop by Maurice Leggett cost the Bombers 18 yards of field position. But now's the time for Drew Willie. You can get inside of the 3-minute warning in the Canadian Football League. 2-3 possessions offensively. But he can get a score now. It's on.
From the 25, first down, stands in, fires, and Aaron Kelly, good clutch catch. Tight coverage from Weldon Brown, but Kelly hung on.
Great coverage from Weldon Brown. Contested catch from Aaron Kelly, who on the last series, I was wondering a little bit about. Where's Aaron Kelly? A deep threat, runs the curl route well, but has to fight off Weldon Brown.
14 on a first down. They go without a huddle. And Willie drops it off underneath. Is that a catch? They're ruling Kelly has it. And down immediately at the 41. There seems to be an argument from the Roughriders. Weldon Brown didn't think that was a catch. Just a couple of yards. 2nd and 8. Are we close enough to the end to make this 3-down territory? This will depend on what they get on 2nd down here. And the crosser, that looked like pass interference, and the flags do fly.
Now they're working it to 19. He's got a Clemson, good size. And Aaron Kelly has all of a sudden back and involved in the offense for Winnipeg. 3 throws in a row in his direction.
Pass interference, Saskatchewan, number 35. It will be a 10-yard penalty and an automatic first down.
He's a guy who started the season in game 1 with 100 yards receiving and 5 catches. Good deep threat and has disappeared of late. 0 catches the last 2 games. They're going at him now.
So first down up at the 51. Pocket collapsing. Willie just gets back to the line of scrimmage. Brought down by Derek Walker. Willie close to 300. And he has taken over the league lead in passing with Ricky Ray on a bye this week. And the Bombers take the timeout outside of the 3-minute warning. As they confer on 2nd and 10.
I'm not sure, Chris, that Drew Willie and this offense was as efficient as they could have been this series so far. Just getting in and out of the huddle, and in fact not huddling, and just getting the plays in and out. The crowd, obviously an educated crowd here in Winnipeg, they died down right away, so the communication should not be a problem. Marcel Belfay's getting the calls in. The speaker in Drew Willie's helmet, the offensive coordinator.
Big play, 2nd and 10 from the Bomber 51. 4 receivers this near side. And over the middle, the ball is caught. Corey Watson. Well, we saw A nice catch from Aaron Kelly early in the drive, and Watson comes up with one here for 15 on the first.
Again, contested catch. Drew Willie put it right on him. He was covered by Macho Harris.
So Drew Willie over 300, but trying to find a way to come back against the Roughriders is priority one. We've hit the 3-minute warning in the Banjo Bowl in Winnipeg. So down to the final 3 minutes here. Drew Willie has hit 300 for the 5th time this season. He's the league leader in passing yardage. But he trails on the scoreboard by 13. 1st and 10 at the Roughrider 44. Out of his hands quickly, into the hands of Grigsby. And he'll step out at the 38. Stop the clock. 6 on 1st down for Grigsby.
Smart by Nick Grigsby to get outside, try and make his move, but make it as he's getting close to that sideline and be efficient with the clock.
So score in the next 50 seconds.
Can maybe kick it
quicker.
deep. Yeah, can maybe kick it deep.
And then look for a 2 and out if you're trying to choreograph the comeback for Winnipeg. 2nd and 4. And that pass, that's a good catch by Aaron Kelly. A fastball near his ankles in tight coverage. And Aaron Kelly's got his 6th catch after going without a reception in the last 2 weeks. So they keep moving the chains, but that clock moving as well. 1st down. Pressure. Willie steps up, away from George, and now tries to get to the sidelines to stop the clock ahead of Brian Peters.
Looked like Drew Willie might have had the edge there and able to turn this up and get big yardage, but Brian Peters runs him down. George is going to flush Willie out of there. He's the guy who gets Willie on the run. I think Drew Willie thought he had it, the corner there, and Peters shut it down. Here comes Blitz.
Blitz is on. He'll let it go. Deep for Kelly in the end zone. Touchdown. Wins another battle. And the Bombers get close.
2:27 is almost enough time. It's right on that bubble that they could kick it off deep here and try and get a 2 and out. Drew Willie, the difference in this throw, puts a lot of air under it and lets Aaron Kelly run underneath it. Again, Weldon Brown can't cover any better. Aaron Kelly's just winning the battle right now.
2 touchdowns in week 1, his first since. 7th catch of the game. '29-yard touchdown. Extra point from Hairolahu, and we are in for a finish. It's a 6-point Saskatchewan lead. Nine plays, 85 yards. Aaron Kelly's 3rd touchdown of 2014.
Well, first of all, let's show you the route run by Aaron Kelly. Nothing fancy about it except a subtle little move to the outside to get a little more width and a little more outside. See that little stem from Aaron Kelly? Gets him a little separation. And even though Weldon Brown closes when the ball arrives, he wins that battle. Watch Drew Willie stand in here. He's going to have pressure from Marche Green coming off the edge. Stands in there to deliver it. Now, he doesn't take a hit. Smart move by Green to not take the penalty, but he lets it go, puts some air under it. Aaron Kelly runs underneath it. We got to finish.
Didn't have a touchdown pass the last 2 weeks, has a pair in this game. Now, you mentioned it. We're at a time when they could kick deep, but you know Michael O'Shea, he's the master of the special teams. Do they kick onside?
They have on the outside, Fioli Gadino.
Roughriders have 11 up, anticipating, so Hairolahu
going deep.
Kicks it deep. Weston Dressler up over the 30. Jesse Briggs bumps him out short of the 35. So a big series here for Tino Sinceri and a bigger series for the Bomber defense.
And my question is, can the Winnipeg Blue Bombers stop the run? Because if George Cortez is not saying hand it to Will Ford, Jerome Messon, or Anthony Allen, that would shock me. Can the Bombers stop the run?
You know it was coming. Anthony Allen somehow stayed on his feet to get an extra 2 or 3 yards. And it will be 2nd and 4.
Dressler is trying to communicate something to the receiving corps.
That communication will be difficult. Have to get to the 45. And it will be Allen stopped short. A yard and a half short. Roughriders are going to have to punt it away. And a critical stop for Winnipeg.
And the stop comes from the secondary. Damon Washington, who is in charge of coverage. He decides he's had enough of the Riders running for first down. Chroma misses him, and number 7 steps up from the halfback spot and puts the stop on Anthony Allen. Now it's about a yard.
Whoa.
And it looks like the Riders going to go ahead and try to get it.
This is confidence in your running game.
And it's playing to win.
Really? It's over a yard.
Now is he trying to draw him offside?
And they'll do it on a shotgun. Messon, the running back. Jerome Messon. And fumbled. Not sure he's got the first down. Who's got the football? And we're still not sure.
And it's Damon Washington that causes the fumble again from the secondary.
Bombers say they got it. Bombers have it. Well, they'll talk about this gamble for quite some time.
It was a full yard. Timing a little off on the snap. But Damon Washington comes up. He puts the hit with Chroma. Ball clearly out. That's a fumble. And at the bottom of the pile, I'm not sure who got it, but it was a blue jersey.
Hard to see if Messon would have had the first down. But it doesn't matter now. Stunning stuff. And as good as the run game's been, that's an interesting decision.
2 plays in a row from Damon Washington out of the secondary.
Injured Bomber on the field. Big play by Damon Washington. Last week, one coach was criticized for not going 3rd and 1. They kicked the field goal, gave George Cortez a couple of minutes to run down the field and score the winning points. Well, today, Corey Chamberlain gambles 3rd and 1. And it may cost him the football game.
I'm not sure Jerome Messon had first down territory anyway. Damon Washington cut his legs out.
Mike Cornell was shaken up slowly to the sidelines. And now the Bombers offense wants the fans to bring it down a notch so they can hear the willing play calls.
Whole bench for Winnipeg trying to quiet the crowd a little. He was a comeback kid at Buffalo. Can he do it again?
First down. Pressure on. Going deep. Up for grabs. Rob Williams picks it off. Williams has his first interception of the year, and that play call will be under scrutiny too. And we've got a full-scale Donnybrook after all that. Flags are flying, and Banjo Bowl hostilities boil over. Jeremy O'Day, former center, player personnel, and teammate, or old teammate of Glenn January in the midst of it.
Yeah.
I'm a little surprised, as well effective as the Bombers have been with the long pass this year.
And in this game, remember, Drew Willie had just hit in the past previous series Aaron Kelly on a deep ball to get it close and within striking range. So to call a deep pass is not the worst thing. I'm just not sure about the decision to let it go once Drew Willie saw what he saw in coverage.
So what will be the field position after these flags are clarified?
Robbie Bryant was the intended target. Again, to call the deep ball, I don't think it's all that bad of a thing. But when Drew Willie saw how Tristan Jackson's going to bail here and stay so deep on Robbie Bryant, he was not giving up the deep ball. So the decision to throw was what you question. Or was it Rod Williams at the wide side here? Let's take a look as we get a little closer. It is Rod Williams, but he played that to play the deep ball the entire time, with Tyron Brackenridge coming over from the safety spot as well. So I'm just watching and looking at the decision from Drew Willie, who has a little pressure from Brian Peters, who eventually wraps around and gets there. But Rod Williams drops off of that one, and Willie would have had to get a miracle catch from Robbie Bryant.
Turnovers even, but that one is going to hurt the most.
Boy, he's young. He is playing in his 15th start in the Canadian Football League, and he knows it better than anybody.
After the play was over, we have disqualifications. Winnipeg, number 62. Disqualification rough play, Saskatchewan, number 35. There was also an unnecessary roughness penalty to Saskatchewan, or to Winnipeg, number 62. We'll go up 15 yards, first down.
So Steve Morley, the center, is out of the game for the Bombers. And an extra unnecessary roughness penalty against Winnipeg will improve the field position. Weldon Brown looks a little puzzled by his ejection. I know you're focused on scoring, but even clock management, did you want to score on one play and give Saskatchewan that much time to answer back? It just seemed like they were in too much of a hurry.
No, that's a good point. I mean, I don't mind you take a shot. I mean, they get down to the 20-yard line, run the clock out from there, and score with basically no time for Saskatchewan. You see that. I mean, that wasn't a throw to the end zone from Willie. I don't mind that he wants to go to one of the areas of strength for the Bombers all year long, which is the deep ball. Just the decision once he saw coverage was the wrong decision.
Indy Denver coming up immediately following this. We're not done though. Anthony Allen, the ball carrier, quick stop. E.J. Qualley's back in.
A quick stop here, and Drew Willie's got to let that throw go, because he may have about
He might get a half minute.
Yeah, he might get 30, 40 seconds here.
Wally scrambling off. You're the OC now. Do you risk a pass? It's incomplete. Stop the clock.
No, you run it, you punt it.
Bombers do have a timeout. And quarterback draws, not going anywhere. Mo Leggett on the scene, and he knocked him off stride. So Winnipeg's going to get one last gasp. That extra penalty against Morley didn't help the field position.
And Michael O'Shea looks like he's trying to use his timeout right now.
Timeout. Winnipeg.
He's got his final timeout.
So they'll have more than a half minute.
That's right. So now they won't start till the snap of the football, and he can get his teams together. Now the question is, does he want to try and go for the block here or try and work the return? Talking to Devon Washington, that could indicate that he wants to get the return. And give him the instructions. Listen, if you don't see it, if it's not wide open, just get what you can and get down and give our offense as much time as you can. Don't be messing around and losing ground and losing time on the clock. But Willie's going to get another shot.
Devon Washington has a kick return touchdown. They went for the block. And here's Washington inside his 20, over the 30. And he'll be caught and brought down from behind. Good tackle there by a rookie, Matt Webster, playing in his first game. That's a clutch tackle for the Queens product.
He gets to him. And Devon Washington, you see the ball security? Clearly, that was a reminder from Michael O'Shea, their head coach, to say, hey, do not cough it up on this punt return and give our offense a chance.
49-yard punt, 14 on the return, 49 seconds on the clock. First down. Bombers 66 yards away from a win. Over the middle. And a catch made by Denmark. Brian Peters, the tackle. That's a pickup of close to 9 for Clarence Denmark. And this is where the urgency we didn't see a couple of series ago has to be.
And remember, Gord Hines is now playing center, the 6th offensive lineman for Steve Morley, who's been thrown out.
6 receivers out, pressure on, and Willie taken down. Tay George, 7th sack of the year.
Huge sack for Tay George on a bit of a stunt where they're going to bring in Chick and they're going to wrap Tay George around on the stunt. Chick's going to step up, come underneath. Here comes 93 unblocked. And he just does not let Willie go.
5th sack of the day, 14th in the series for Saskatchewan against Winnipeg. It all comes down to 3rd and 8. Pocket collapsing. Willie throws. Tristan Jackson, interception. They'll mark him down at the 44. Interceptions on the final 2. Bomber possessions is going to clinch it for Saskatchewan.
Looked like Willie was trying to go to Aaron Kelly on the side with Denmark. He runs the curl. And Tristan Jackson just sitting on the outside shoulder, cuts underneath it. That was a timing issue by Drew Willie. He pulls the trigger a second earlier. Clarence Denmark is open on the curl. He's paused. Tristan Jackson closes. And it's game over.
3rd of the year for Tristan Jackson. And the Saskatchewan Roughriders have their first ever in-season 7-game win streak. They'll go to 8-2. Sweep the Blue Bombers, who have now lost 4 of 5, and their record will drop to 6-5.
And the Saskatchewan Roughriders are now in 2nd place in the tough West Division behind the Calgary Stampeders.
No shortage of drama. Corey Chamberlain can celebrate the win, but he'll be ultra concerned about the loss of Darian Durant in this game. And Drew Willie will be concerned about the one that got away. Interesting finish, 30-24 the final. Saskatchewan wins it. Sunday Night Football is now.